No better way to kick off the NFL season than by having a conversation with the star of NFL Network's Good Morning Football, Kyle Brandt. And that's what I get to do today. This is A Cup of Joey with me, Joey Molinaro. Kyle Brandt, what's up, man?
Dude, thank you for having me. I beat you here, I think.
You did. I'm very, very sorry about that.
No, it's not even time yet. I'm the nerd who gets here early.
I appreciate that, though. You know, I'm always anxiously awaiting, and so now I kind of feel like the cool guy. So thank you.
You know what? When you do these, there's a lot of anxiety and waiting, and I always convince myself that like they're not going to show up or they're going to have technical difficulties. And then when they actually come up, it's like, holy shit, you're here! Awesome.
Yeah. Yes, that is a very overwhelming thing, especially for you because you. I've been interviewing Paul Rudd and Guy Fieri and all these. I mean, what a show! How'd that come about, man?
It's a long process. The short version is like 5 years ago when I was working for Rome, I started doing a podcast. By the way, Joey, I'm in this weird Inception thing right now. We're not actually recording right now. This is get to know you chat, or this is the real podcast.
I kind of just hop right in. So
wow! All right, we're on. Okay, see, there's this. Oh, this is not industry standard. Normally, there's how you doing? Thanks for doing this. Oh, thanks for inviting me. This is what we're going to talk about. We're already going. That's what you're saying.
Well, I mean, I do appreciate all of those things, and but yeah, I like to try to keep it as conversational as possible. We'll just hop in, have a chat. There you go.
That's actually a cool little tool. So I'll continue, and I'll be conversational.
Awesome.
I was working for Rome years and years and years for Jim Rome. And I was like, I think I need to start a podcast. This is 2016. So I started one, and I'm like, I think I want it to be like a game show and an interview. And I called it 20 Questions. And I would have 20 different questions that went on and on and on. And I just invited people I knew in the industry. Like I had Jamel Hill, and I had Big Cat and PFT, who were incredible. Jeff Pearlman, Chael Sonnen, AJ Hawk, they all came on. It was great. People really liked it. I moved my whole family to New York, and I did Good Morning Football, and I just stashed it away. I said, whatever, that was fun for 6 weeks. And it was done. And I've always wanted to revisit it because it was things like all the reaction was like, this is so cool and it's so different. It was just one of those things that I had in the back of my mind where I'm like, someday I got to get back to that. So I called it 10 Questions, and we premiered it finally last month. And now I'm like 5 episodes in. I'm kind of new on the block, like Cup of Joey.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, you've had Honey Badger, Aaron Rodgers, Paul Rudd. I mean, just A-list people. You kind of look like Paul Rudd. Has anybody told you that? Somebody tried to tell you that, right?
No, I mostly, in that whole realm of actors, I get the guy from the Vampire Diaries. I don't know what his name is, but I guess there was a guy in the Vampire Diaries when that show was going on that I looked like, which is a compliment. I mean, the vampires that they put in that show they're striking. They're handsome as hell. Vampires got hot at one point between them and Twilight, so I'll take it, dude.
Is the internet and people, are they pretty nice to you about your looks? People make fun of mine all the time. They call me Joey Fat Cheeks, so I'm going on a
diet. That's mean, and that's bullying. I don't condone it.
Thank you.
I don't like it. The thing that I get on about it, I got a pretty big forehead, and I have actually a really large cranium, and I don't mean that metaphorically. Like, if you take out the tape measure, like, put it this way, Joey, when I used to play football, I would wear the offensive lineman's helmet, and I would have the thinnest little ear pads just to fit on my head, and it would still like Riddell across my forehead. So I get made fun of for my head and my forehead size sometimes.
Well, let's put it this way. When you're wearing a snapback hat, how many of the buttons are left?
But see, that's a great question. My dignity does not allow me to go to the one button hinge because my head is saying, give me the hinge. And I'm saying, we got to get 2, guys. Come on. We got to get 2 dots because it still looks weird with 2. It still looks like the seatbelt extender on the airplane. But I cannot leave with 1 because, Joey, the 1, I've tried this. It doesn't lay straight across. It goes rogue. And it will either go up, in which makes it look like, you know, you're have some sort of like triangle on your head. Or worse, it goes down, which gives you this like Eddie Munster widow's peak. So I have a 1-dot head, but you won't see me in hats a lot, really, really rarely, because they just don't fit me. My head's too big.
Well, how about this? Maybe we can try to, you know, we're always trying to evolve with fashion and everything as time goes on. Maybe me and you can start like a coalition of 1-button snapback dudes, and maybe we can get it so we can decide if we want it to go up or Munster down. And then everybody can be like, whoa, what's going on with this new snapback trend? It's like Kyle Brandt and Joey Molinaro are both doing the, you know, the 1 button.
It sounds like a startup too. Like if put it this way, if they can make a shirt that looks good untucked, why can't they make a hat that looks good on one dot? That's what I need, dude. And I'm in it with you if you are, Joey.
Let's do it. Okay, we're trademarking that. Back to it, but dude, I love you're rocking the Steelers.
Yeah,
you made them your Super Bowl pick. That's been a big thing. You're winning over the Molinaro household, that's for sure. So I'm very excited about that. What made you land on them, man? That was gutsy.
Thank you. I hate this time of year. And when I say what I mean, I love that football's back.
Yep.
Just if you consume sports media as much as I know you do, Joey, and a lot of people listening to this do, like, prediction week is so tedious and so obnoxious. And, you know, I cannot tell you how many times this week that someone has said that I'm on drugs, I need to be fired, and like, let me get some of that shit you're smoking, like just over and over. For some reason, I don't know if you picked up on this, but the number one joke for the internet booger eater is just, it's always about, what are you smoking? What are you smoking? It's so lame. It's like Cheech and Chong from the 70s. That's what they say. What are you smoking? I could show you 50 people right now just saying, what are you smoking? And so I've gotten that a lot. And part of it was because I picked the Steelers to win a Super Bowl as if I picked the Jaguars or some shit. I mean, it's the Steelers. Is it really that outlandish of a pick?
Absolutely. No, it's not.
Right.
I mean, I'm with you 100%. But I feel like the what are you smoking? That's like maybe you're more of your demographic generation. People my age, not saying that you're older or anything.
I don't care. I was born in 1979, Joey. I'm very secure with it.
Okay, I'm 93. I'm a 93 baby. But I feel like people my generation are more of like, they'll just say big L. Like, you lost. Like, they rate tweets now in terms of like W's and L's. Like it's a column. Like somebody at home is sitting there and is like, oh, Joey, yeah, he's on a 2-game tweet win streak. It's really, really weird. So I don't get the smoking thing, but I get, oh man, big L on this one.
Yeah, I got some L's.
How do you lose?
Your kind jumps in, and they will also go. They're also big fans of the clown emoji, and then I've also gotten the trash can emoji. If you're lucky, I think at the very least, if they're going to insult your integrity and your intelligence, I think they owe us at least a GIF. Scroll through and find a decent GIF to tell me how stupid I am. Like, how hard is it to find the Mr. Rogers putting on a clown mask or the Michael Jordan? Stop it. Get some help. Like, if you're going to insult me, please just give me the dignity of at least getting a GIF, not just an emoji. That takes 2 seconds.
Sure, yeah, have a little creativity. And my personal favorite is like the Stephen A. Smith ones.
Sure.
If you come at me and you're just completely shitting on me, but you have a Stephen A. Smith meme that's like a perfect line that's like, listen,
right?
No one cares. Like, I'll at least laugh at that and be like, yes, okay, you got a W for that tweet.
I'll give you the W. Joey, I got it. This is total tangent, but it's the end of my day right now. Like, my kids are almost ready it's 4:30 Eastern. I went on First Take today. I was invited on the show and I went on today, and it was.
Tell me about that.
All right, I'd love to. You're the first person I've talked to about it. Like, my wife has no clue what First Take is. I got a late invite through the guy that I work with at the NFL Network, and he puts me on radio shows or whatever. He's a good guy, and he goes, "Do you want to go on First Take?" And I was like, haha, like, what are you talking about? He's like, no, I'm like, they're really asking it, and he's like, yeah, they want to know if you'll come on. It's kickoff tonight. I'm putting aside just that we're on different networks and everything. I'm like, First Take? This is a big invite. I'm all of a sudden like on the defensive or something, because why is this happening? So
attack me.
Yeah, I say screw it. I'm going. Of course, I want to go on First Take. It's like, I don't care for whatever you think of it. It's in its own way iconic. I'm going to go on there.
Sure. Yeah.
So you go on is not what I expected at all, because I've sat in many airport bars and watched it, and I know how the show works. And I remember, you go on and it's so awkward because you're doing it like this, like a Zoom, and it's live, of course. So you just come in the commercial break and you go through the whole ESPN thing. And then all of a sudden you're still in commercial, and Molly and Stephen A. and Max come on and they talk to you, and I can't tell you, Joey, how unbelievably nice and warm and receptive all three of those people were in the commercial break before we started. And maybe I'm insulting them by saying I didn't expect that. I just expected them to be a little intense, you know, or distracted. Like, they've done this for years. It was all like, hey, my man Kyle, this is so great. Welcome. We love that show you do. Like, it was like Sesame Street. It was so nice. And like, the show takes a lot of shit because whatever, it's just part of what they do. And that's fine if you want to give the show shit. But I gotta say, I got the full welcome basket. You know, when you go to a hotel for a wedding and they have a welcome basket there waiting for you for the bride and groom, I felt like I got that. And then the segment starts and Max and Stephen A just start screaming at each other, and it's just like it looks on TV. But behind the scenes, I'm gonna pull back the curtain. They were awesome, really nice people before and after. So that's something to feel good about.
Yeah, no, I think so, because I think people, you know, mostly probably think of it that way, that like throughout the entire thing, they're just looking at their phone. They don't give a shit about anything. They're ready to yell at each other.
Yes.
That's reassuring to hear. But during that commercial break and when you were first getting in there, like, what were they like, okay, Max, yep, you're going to take this side. Stephen A was like, I'm going to take this side. And then they were like, let's go at it. Or was it totally, because that's my thing, is I'm like, all right, they have the topic.
Yep.
You know, is Big Ben gonna be healthy this year?
Yeah.
And then it's like Max is like, it'll be more fun to argue this side, and Stephen A's like, okay, I'll take the other side. Is that how it was?
It was sort of like that. I didn't hear the negotiating, but I was going to go on and give my thoughts on the Cowboys or whatever. Imagine this. So you've never been on the show before. You know the stakes of it. You know they just go at it. You know it's fodder for a lot of social media. And they say to you, all right, the segment is which NFC East team has the most to prove, which is just your stock segment, you know, meat and potatoes is great. And they say, so Max is going to go first, and then Stephen A is going to go. And what you need from you is we need you to be the judge and say who's right. And I was like, oh, shit. All right, let's do it.
You're going to get eviscerated, man.
Yeah, like whoever I don't agree with is going to, you know, tell me how absolutely unbelievably ridiculous I am. So Max goes, and Max does this whole thing is, you know, really well thought out and everything about the Giants and all their coaches and their players and everything. And I'm like, all right, that was pretty good. Like, I was like, I think that's going to win. I don't want to predetermine or anything, but I think Max is going to win. And then Stephen A goes, and he just like trashes the Giants, like gratuitously, viciously. And, you know, working on NFL Network, like we stay pretty positive. You know, we don't do a ton of like recapping on these guys. Like we're trying to support. Stephen A's just going like piranhas, like skeletonizing a cow in a river. And I was like, holy shit, he just destroyed the Giants. And then he goes into the Cowboys and it's good. And so I kind of had takes on the Cowboys. So I go, you know, Stephen A, I think you're right here. And then Max freaks out. I'm just like, what weird dream is this? And then I started trying to talk. And then everybody's talking over each other. It sounded like I was in studio. And finally, Molly comes in and tries to calm everybody down. And
what a funny job that is. The moderator / host of First Take always cracked me up. It's like, all right, we got a 2-hour show. I want to talk for about 25 seconds. Let's do it. You know, it's a tough job.
Yeah, and I think the toughest part is like, you got to get in there. There's probably a producer saying, get in there. For example, we did a 10-minute segment. We were supposed to do 2 segments, or 2 topics rather. We're supposed to do the NFC East thing and then something about, you know, non-quarterback weapon, who's the most dangerous one. And we just did 1 topic. So I imagine they were saying to Molly, all right, let's move on. Let's move on to the next topic. But there's just, it's like standing in front of 2 Peterbilt trucks on the highway. How are we supposed to stop them? She does a great job, but we went 1 topic only. And today was the day I was on First Take. It was very, very strange. I would ask you, Joey, you know these shows, you know, obviously you know sports radio really well.
Yeah.
If you could just snap your fingers and appear guest on any show, radio, TV, anyone, to do 1 segment, what would the show be?
Oof, that's okay. I have 3, so it's not tough because I have 3 off the top of my head. Well,
right.
1, I've been vouching to get on your guys' show but I feel like I've been rubbing off on you guys a little bit. I felt like the Good Morning Football crew was really harsh on my guy Ben. Was kind of going for a while, trashing the Steelers, talking about what are they doing, why are they training for Minka, blah blah blah.
Oh yeah.
And then I feel like I've kind of been swaying you guys a little bit that way. But anyways, I was always just like, I want to go on there and fight my case, First Take style, with all you guys about Big Ben. So you guys, Howard Stern. I mean, who doesn't want to go on Howard Stern?
I'm a big Howard guy.
You're a big Howard guy. Everybody wants to go on Howard Stern. And then obviously the Herd. I mean, to sit on that couch and stare up at Colin's throne and like just give him shit and make fun of all the stuff that he does, that would be a dream.
I think that has to be the one, Joey. Like, I thank you for saying our show, and I love Howard and everybody. I've had dreams about going on Howard, and I'm nervous, and I fuck up, and, you know, Fred doesn't like me. But I would have to just say, as a neutral observer, you on the Herd in the Fox lot in LA, I've been able to be on that set a few times. Not the Herd set, but actually that stage. It's so big. It's there's staircases, and there's like candelabras leading to wine cellars, and there's sliding bookcases. It's a massive set, and it's unbelievably, it looks so expensive, like just so well lit and so well produced. And for you to sit down and look up at the 90-degree angle up to Colin from that couch, you know, to sit on the Greg Jennings seat or whoever came before you, that's got to be the one, man.
It really does. I would love to just have strictly an analogy off too. Like, literally, maybe Joy would just be like, she would fire out like 4 or 5 different topics, and then me and Colin would just have to duel each other in analogies, because my brain now is so, I talked about Schrager a little bit. Like, my brain now is so fucked up that immediately when anything happens in life or sports, I start thinking an analogy of how Cowherd would like flip this. And he's so smart, and like he makes a lot of very good points, but it's just always so funny when like I did a video on, you know, Belichick doing a Subway commercial. Yeah. And like how that means he's in like his like going down to Florida retirement, you know, stage in his life. Because that's something that Cowherd would immediately lead off his show with. You know what I mean? So give me an analogy off on Cowherd. That's got to be the one.
I would listen to that any day. I wonder, you know, if you go on shows now, or you go on podcasts or radio shows, whatever, are people just constantly do this impression, do that impression? They must, right?
Yeah, it was pretty exhausting for a while, like before I got on with Barstool, because like I would just kind of be making my rounds. I was almost like Radio Row. Like I was a chance I could. Anybody who want to have me on, I was like, sure, get my name out there, whatever. And immediately, you know, that was always the thing. It's like, oh, we want you to. Oh, hold on a sec, guys. We have Nick Saban actually on the line with us, and like I'd have to go bust into that, you know. And so like that was a little exhausting. But now, as I've kind of like broken off and trying to do stuff like this, people are like, oh, he's not just like, you know, the dancing circus monkey that like does impressions. So that's been a nice progression in my life.
I'm glad to hear that, because I'm gonna flatter you for a second. I love your impressions, but obviously when you watch them, and if you follow you on Twitter, like there's so much more going on than just someone who can do, you know, an incredible Andrew Luck impression. And I say the same thing for Caliendo. Like I think I found Frank to be a really nice guy, and also just a guy to talk to when he's not doing Liam Neeson from Taken, like when he's just doing himself. I think it's awesome. My brother's much younger than me. My brother is like 11 years younger than me, so closer to your generation, someone who hand out L's on Instagram as opposed to just telling me what I'm smoking. He sent me first your Jimmy Fallon interviewing Adam Driver, and I watched it like every straight day for 10 days. I just thought it was so... I mean, I'm laughing, of course, but just there were so many intricacies to it, and I'd never really seen someone do a great Fallon. And then when you go to Adam Driver, he's like, I'm good, and that's it. And it's just, that's when I'm like, I'm a fan of this guy. And then I started following you on Twitter, and Schrager and I would talk about you, and like, it's just, there's so much going on. Like, I have Joey Molinaro stock that I'm holding on to, dude.
Well, thank you, man. That means a lot. I told Schrager about it. I've watched you guys since you've been on the air. And, you know, I've always loved your guys' show. It's the best waking up with y'all. And even my wife, she's not a big football fan at all.
Oh, yeah?
But she always – I like Good Morning Football. That Kyle guy, he's funny. I like him. I can listen to him talk about football. Like,
Joey, what's your wife's name?
My wife's name's Riley.
Riley? And she watches the show and she can palate it because her palate can stand it? Some people can't.
Yeah, no, she loves it because it's like you guys do such a good job of like, I'm a diehard football fan. You talk about real football shit, but also you have like, you know, fucking dancing segments and like White Boy Wednesday. And like, you know, like I said, she like thinks Kay's so cute and like you're so cool and funny and like all that stuff. There she is. She's right over here. You want to say hi to Kyle? Here she is.
Riley, what's going on? I got my Steelers jersey on.
Yeah, no kidding. That's awesome.
Thank you for watching. Did Joey make up all that stuff that you like Good Morning Football?
Huh?
Did Joey make it up that you like Good Morning Football, and now you're going to totally expose him? Have you ever heard of the show Good Morning Football? Joey,
Yeah. No, he would turn it on like every morning, and it was like one of the only like pure football shows that I was like, I'm cool with this.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you very much.
This is great. So, you said kind words about me. Of course, I'm saying kind words about you.
Bud.
What do you think? Like, I pitched some of those segments to Schrager. TikTok Tuesday, like, I feel like that could be right up your guys' alley.
Yeah, because we need to freshen some of them up, man. We've been doing the same segments for 3 or 4 years. How many times can we do angry runs and toe drag swag and all that stuff? I mean, after a while, we're in season 5 now almost. So TikTok Tuesday, give it to me again. How would it go?
So on Tuesdays, like I said, you obviously have your whiteboard Wednesdays and everything like that. TikTok Tuesday is just trying to get in with the hip younger crowd and everything, the people who hand out L's. And, well, shit, they're younger than that. I mean, I don't even know really what they're doing on there. But you have to perhaps, like, find the TikTok trend or dance that, like, Addison Rae is doing or whoever's doing and fit that to a certain coach or, like, to describe a certain team.
Okay.
And you have to do the dance, like, on the set.
Yeah, we do a lot of that, a lot of standing up and dancing. So that would work. And then all we need to do is just to say, what is her name? Addison Rae? I honestly, I'm not being the old man. I don't know a lot about her.
Yeah, she's a huge, TikTok star.
Okay, so she does a dance, and then everybody, like the Vanessa Hudgens type, starts copying it, and they do it, and that's the dance. So we have to say, this is the dance, and I think this dance best describes the Seahawks, because they have a lot of energy, but you're not sure, maybe how smart they are. I don't know. Like, you just start to make a metaphor out of it, like Cowherd would.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe, I know you guys have done some, like, guessing type of things.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you do it. It's kind of like a charade. It's like a TikTok charade. Like, you maybe say the title of what the trend is. You do the dance. And then Nate, Peter, and Kay are like, oh, this is, like you said, this is the Patriots because, Cam Newton has a lot of swag or whatever it is.
You know what the delicate dance to do there is? And this is a real thing. We would have to do that self-deprecatedly, knowing, like, we can't come out and be like, yeah, we're on TikTok and we see this cool dance and all the kids are talking. Like, we are such poser losers then. And, like, we feel very strongly about, I don't know how smart we are, how funny we are, but, like, we really are genuine. So for us to come out and be like, yeah, we play Fortnite and look at TikTok, like, we don't do that. None of us do that shit. And we ever hear us saying it, tweet us or text us, Joey, because, like, we have gone poser. And I just hate that. So we could do the TikTok Tuesdays, but we have to be in character and acknowledge how much we don't know what we're talking about.
But you guys do that a lot. Like, when you, like, you do the Wolf of Wall Street, or I forget exactly what it's called, but you and Schrager are doing the Wall Street guys. Yeah, the stock market guys. I mean, like, then you're just TikTokers, and, like, you come out with, like, like some backwards hat and some wacky sunglasses and like, all that kind of stuff.
Novelty socks. I'm into that. Okay.
There you go. Like, probably a lot of platform shoes because those are making a comeback for some reason.
Okay.
But
tie-dye.
have you noticed that? Isn't that weird? Like, style, like, you always hear, like, everything comes back around, but, like, now, like, girls are wearing platform shoes and, like, bell-bottom jeans, and guys are wearing, like, 4-inch shorts, like grape smugglers. It's super weird.
It is weird, and yet it makes my wheels turn. Let's decide right now, Joey. What do you and I want to come back that hasn't yet when it comes to apparel, other than the 1 dot backwards hat? I'll start. I keep waiting for the time when it's like, what's the shit right now, man? Cargo shorts. I want cargo shorts back. They're unbelievably practical. Like, I was a big cargo short guy in the 90s, like, when I would buy them from Abercrombie. And it's like, all right, I got my phone, I got my wallet, I got, a tin of dip if you want that. I have a flask, I have a pack of cigarettes, whatever. Like, you could have a whole camping set on your shorts and you looked cool. It was like, they're like, all right, people don't like the fanny pack, so let's take 2 of them and put them on the thighs. Then you're set. And then they just poof. They were gone. And I want them to come back. I want cargo shorts back.
Yeah, and it's so, like, for now, it's kind of like Nickelback, right? Like everybody's just like the easy joke, like the quick joke is, cargo shorts, it's Nickelback. So I hear you there. I grew up in the age where, when I was in middle school and high school, like shorts were not short. They were in fact very long.
Yeah.
So I'm sticking with the short gang here. Like I would be okay with shorts coming back, whether they're Air Jordan or Nike or whatever, where they're not past your calf, but damn it, if they're not meeting the calf, like it's a very weird thing. So this whole transition of me like showing off my thighs, it's very foreign to me. So I'd be cool with the almost capris, in between capris, but longer than shorts to come back.
The shorts they're up there now, aren't they? Like they're up there. They're high. And I don't know, when you put on the short shorts, or maybe at least shorter than you would normally wear, do you get positive feedback from Riley? Because my wife loves when I wear the high shorts. She's just like, keep going higher. Like I'm like, honey, if they get any higher, they're gonna be briefs. Yeah,
I shit you not. I was ordering new swim trunks last week or 2 weeks ago. Got some trips coming up, whenever.
Nice.
Wife was like, "Oh, these look good." No, I showed it to her. I was like, "What about these?" She's like, "Those look too long." I was like, "What do you mean they look too long? They barely go above this guy. Like they're just above the knee. Like that's perfect." She's like, "It seems too long for nowadays." And I was like, "Okay." So I ordered a pair, and Kyle, I shit you not, they're so short that I was at a lake on Labor Day weekend with her side of the family, and I didn't bring them because I was that embarrassed. So it's she does like those. It's very weird.
So you dropped the $60 at the Billabong store or online or whatever, and then you refused to wear them. And did she not demand like, no, come on, Joey, go get those new ones. They look good. And you're like, no. You're like Greg Fokker when he has to borrow a bathing suit.
That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. And I mean, not straight up underwear, but I mean, just insanely short. So I don't know. I got it was like, what's funny is there's Star Wars ones too.
Oh,
so
cool.
It's like I'm back in 1978. So it's a Star Wars theme, but they're super short. So I feel like I'm like my dad when he was a kid. All right, man. I got a little rapid fire segment here. Speaking of Star Wars, I want to wrap up with. Been taking too much of your time.
No, I love it. What's up?
I remember vividly after The Last Jedi came out.
Yeah.
You had a tweet like a month later. I was like, okay, it's been a month. Last Jedi was so bad. Like it was so. I remember you said it was so bloated, and I was like, that is a perfect description. I don't even really know what it means, but that's what it was. So, long story short, on this to start the rapid fire, ironically, favorite Star Wars movie and why?
Listen, The Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars movie. There's no debate about that. I love it. I just showed my 6-year-old son episodes 4 through 6. We started at 4. I've been planning this for 20 years. I think my favorite is still A New Hope. There's such a charm about it. They're just babies. The lightsaber fight is fucking ridiculous versus Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. I don't care. When Luke is doing the training with that little device and he's going and he does the blast shield and you're like, they pulled this shit off in the mid-70s? That is so cool, and it still looks cool. And my 6-year-old was born in 2013, was totally riveted by it 40-something years later. So I go A New Hope, episode 4.
Amazing. Nice. The trench run, I mean, to your point, like that, it looks phenomenal. The fact that they could pull that off.
Joey, even the first 30 seconds of the movie, never mind the words scrolling up, you jump right into that fucker. And here's Leia's ship is flying away, and there's this giant Star Destroyer just blasting. It's like, you know everything you need to know by that first 30 seconds. These are good guys. They're probably fucked. These are really bad guys. They're super powerful. Let's get the hell out of here. And it's like, let's roll. And it's so good. It's just so well done.
Have you ever done the thing on New Year's where you start it at you set the timer to where at midnight on the dot, the Death Star explodes and you start your year defeating the Empire? Have you done that?
I've not done that, but my wife and I attempted to do at one point a couple of years ago. Phil Collins tweeted that if you start in the air tonight at like 11:56:42 or something. When it goes, that's how you start the new year. And that came from not Phil Collins, but Sir Phil Collins himself. And we tried it, and like we missed it by a couple seconds, but it still kicked ass.
Still, it was cool. Okay, I'll have to try that. Try that maybe this year.
Yeah,
okay, who's worse? The fantasy guy, like in the office.
Okay.
Who's worse? Fantasy football guy or Monday morning quarterback guy? The guy who's like, they should have done this, man.
Oh man, both those guys suck. I mean, there's so many offshoots of the fantasy football guy. The worst one being someone who's actually in your league and is terrible, but really wants to tell you that in my other league, dude, I'm killing it. Like in my other league, like, I'm not even interested in speaking to you about the league that I'm in with you. What makes you think that your college friends league is interesting fodder? And yet I still think it's the Monday morning guy, because he is like a Voltron of assholery, because not only is he saying like, man, like how does Tomlin call that timeout in the second quarter? And I don't know, it's the second quarter, who cares? But he'll also be like, so drunk Saturday night and like so got laid Friday night. And like, yeah, but dude, you're married. Like you're bragging about getting laid with your wife. Like just all the debriefing of Monday. And he's also like, I need a vacation from my vacation guy. He's case of the Mondays guy. Like the Monday morning quarterback.
Oh yeah.
So many other guys. So I'm going to go with him.
That's a great call. And it's like I did a blog that was describing what your fantasy football draft party would look like in 20 years.
Uh-huh.
And it was making fun of all my dad's friends, really. But it was somebody responded to me because I was like describing the different, like the guy who let himself go, the happily divorced guy, the commish. And somebody just responded and said, you described one person. You did all those three things just described one person. I was like, damn.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is very true. All right, couple more. Favorite game in NFL history. Number one, your thing that your game that just through the roof. Holy shit, what a game!
Yeah, I know what it is. It's the 2006 NFC title game, because I was there, and I'll set the stage for you. This is the Rex Grossman Bears, and they're at home at Soldier Field, and my friends and I went and tailgated. It was unbelievably cold. We got just, this is not cool, but like we just got so hammered, like just in the parking lot. It was just awesome. We walk into the stadium. It was the Rex Gross versus the Drew Brees Saints. Reggie Bush was a rookie. Urlacher was in his prime. And the Bears won the game. It was a crazy back and forth game. In like the last 5 minutes of the game, there was just a blizzard. It just snowed all over Soldier Field. And I was just like, this is a genuine sentiment, but one of the greatest feelings you ever have in anything having to do with sports is that feeling when you're walking around a stadium or a parking lot and high-fiving and hugging strangers, and they're just so drunk and they're so happy that the team won. And the only way that's better is when we're going to the Super Bowl. Holy shit. And it had been 21 years at that point, and Chicago, as much as Jordan this and Cubs that, like it is like the Bears are the bedrock of that town. The town is never crazier than when the Bears are good. So the fact that the Bears beat the Saints and on Soldier Field and going to the Super Bowl, it was just awesome. It was a great day. And then of course a couple weeks later, Rex Grossman had a bunch of picks and Peyton Manning beat us in the fucking rain, and the Colts won. Your Colts won.
Yep.
Yeah, but that was a big game.
Not my Colts. My hometown. Not my Colts.
Your Steelers, right? Of course.
Wow. So even over. Yes, but even over. I know you're young. Obviously, yeah, you're too young for like the 85 Bears and everything.
Well, 85 Bears. I was like a little kid. I was 5 years old, and I vaguely remember it. And I definitely got down with the Super Bowl Shuffle, and we had it on cassette. And I remember it was like there was a day in first grade that's like wear your Bears clothes to school day. So I was into that. But I had no idea. I just thought it was like, I didn't care about the team. I cared about that Refrigerator Perry rapped and rhymed rookie with cookie. Like I was into that. And then by the time we got to 2006, I actually liked the game.
Yeah, it's all about the appreciation.
Yeah,
that's the difference there for sure. I know you're a big uniform guy. I know it's pretty popular. I feel like I'm Morning Football to talk about the different threads and everything. So last one here.
Okay.
Right now, not of all time, right now, best uniforms in the league and why?
All right. There's the earnest, just rock solid, like, the Steelers are great and black and gold, and it's just classic. and then there's the sort of ironic one. Like I really do have genuine love for the Tampa Bay creamsicle, like the Buccaneers orange jerseys. I love those jerseys a lot, and I've talked about them. I've looked them up before. The reason the Buccaneers went with orange uniforms is because it's actually the color. It represents citrus in the state of Florida and oranges, and that's why it's orange. It's not because of creamsicles they picked. It actually has to do with them. It's indigenous. That Bucco Bruce logo. Imagine it, Joey. They had a logo on their helmet, and like the guy literally had a knife in his mouth. Like it was a pretty wild logo. So I think I'm answering the question for myself. I think it's the Buccaneers creamsicles or citrus based. It just when I was a Bears fan, the Buccaneers used to be in the NFC Central with the Bears, and so the Bears would play the Bucs twice a year, and I just always loved the uniforms. And I was a massive Mike Allstott guy, a Purdue dude. So he, when he was wearing them, especially early in his career, I was way into it.
Well, that's all time. Like right now, those don't exist right now. What's the one right now?
I fucked up the question.
Currently in 2020.
All right.
No. That's great. That's great.
The best uniforms right now. Let me think. All right, and my mind is worrying around the divisions. I like Philly when they do the Kelly green, but that's an alternate, so that doesn't count. Minnesota, absolutely not. You know what? I really like the Raiders. I like the silver and black. It's a cool look. It hasn't really changed in 50, 60 years. Silver helmets is badass. You know that when, Joey, any kid, junior high, high school, whatever, when you get to be in the black jersey team, like, you feel awesome. Like there's something about the black jerseys, the black cleats, like that's what everyone wants to be. You're all of a sudden like a Sith Lord or something if you wear a black jersey. So I would say the Raiders.
That's cool. Yeah, I'd say an underrated one too. Carolina Panthers. Don't sleep on the Panthers. Baby,
are you talking the white blue, or the blue?
Black.
Yeah. Interesting.
I love when they go all black. They got the shiny silver domes. Those are pretty sharp. I'm not saying it's the best because I'm a Steelers guy, so I'm biased. I'm going to go Steelers. But don't sleep on the Panthers as well when it comes to those.
Two silver helmets, Joey. We're on the same page.
I feel it. All right, Kyle. Thanks so much, man. This has been awesome. Love talking to you. A lot of fun. I appreciate the kind words. Keep killing it with 10 questions and good morning football and have some fun, man. Football's back, so I appreciate it.
Anytime, Joey. I wish I had a Colin Cowherd metaphor for you out the door. Joey Monero is like pudding. Everybody likes it. And you like it when you're a little younger, and it tastes good, and you can take it anywhere. I don't know what it is, but something about that. What would be the Cowherd metaphor for you, Joey? That's the real meta question.
Oh my God. That's too. I don't even want to, because I know too many people are going to come after me and say shit about it. I don't even want to go there. I'll just hopefully one time when I'm on that couch or doing this with him, I'll put it on him and then he'll pull something out of his ass and it'll be great.
Here's Joey with the news.
Yeah. Thanks, Kyle. Appreciate it, buddy.
Anytime, man. Big fan.